Whoever's watching the recording just missed all the really important stuff. No, I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
we're really sorry, but it happens.
Yeah, actually, to step back a bit, I just wanted to set the context, and then I'd love for questions. So I'm just going to do a broad overview here. And I'm from Colorado, which for today matters for two reasons. The first is that I grew up in a situation of water scarcity and understanding how precious water is as a resource. And then moving away from Colorado, realized that not the rest of the world does not view it in that way. And I think that delta between understanding is our opportunity, and it's certainly the opportunity for other BIV companies as well. The second reason is that I guess I have the heart of a gold miner a bit, in that I find it incredibly exciting to think that you can find value in places that are unexpected, and you can find extreme value in places that are unexpected. Tom hinted at our journey, and I thought before I dive into damage and downtime and leaks, I'll just give you a brief overview of how we ended up in this space. My first effort in trying to put technology into the hands of a customer was via a B2C brand called Bear Conductive. We sold over 700,000 development kits direct to engineers all over the world, in a sense, building a giant open R&D function alongside building a huge amount of IP in the particular type of sensors, which I'm going to show you today. But the reason that's important is that we built a function where we were introduced to problems that we would have never have found otherwise. In the very beginning, we made a list of 54 different use cases, very carefully narrowed those down to where we saw genuine opportunity, and then selected those, and really in 2021 launched with a focus on escape of water events in commercial buildings. So that's a water leak in a commercial building, but subsequently have really expanded that out into hydrocarbon leak sensing and into industrial spaces as well. Our whole goal is to find really high value use cases that are underserved and start generating a data set that gives us a genuine long-term competitive advantage. Layer is a totally new way to instrument the world. So all that being said, let's talk about the more practical side of what we do. Leaks are a humongous issue. They are a frustrating issue because for our customers every day, they deal with serious problems and the rest of the world doesn't know it happens. To give you a sense of the scale, the use cases that we serve have around a $20 billion cost annually. The detail of that comes from the cost from single events. So in an onshore wind turbine, a hydraulic fluid leak can ruin a gearbox very quickly and cost $500,000 to replace. In a commercial building, a flat roof leak on average costs around $89,000 to repair, compared to a home roof leak in the States, which is about $4,000. But commercial roofs can easily go up to $1 million claim costs. They're kind of a quietly pervasive problem, and there is not a good solution. Right now, the solution is typically a person. When we talk to our customers, the default is somebody walking around with a clipboard. The problem with that is most of our customers can't find enough staff. Most of these assets get visited really infrequently. So in the case of onshore turbines, it's once every 6 months. Offshore can be once every 18 months. And this, through surveys that we've done of facilities managers, most of them want to adopt a digital solution, but there's just not a digital solution that works for them. That's where Layer comes in. Our customers call what we do smart tape. We can look at the product physically in a second, but I think that's a good mental model, and I think it's a good lesson to just use your customer's language in your own marketing. The goal with the product is to provide at once easy installation, precision, and real-time reporting. If we can do all those three, then we have a killer solution. If you think about manual inspection, the person with the clipboard, it's relatively easy. They walk around or climb up something, and it's very precise, but it's not real time. There are a lot of digital solutions which are very precise and real time, but hugely expensive to install. So the ROI is always upside down. What we do is combine hardware and software. From a hardware perspective, we have what we would call a kind of smart tape plus a digital platform, which is easy to use and easy to integrate with exceptional precision. I think the magic trick that we pull is having a device that doesn't look like it should be as smart as it is because it's so easy to put into a space. That is what our customers would call smart tape. So we put this onto the ground. It's a very effective segmented sensor that can detect water and hydrocarbons, at very, very small levels so we can get a sense of what's happening in an environment remotely. Because most of the use cases that we serve have a similar behavior, which is they start small and eventually get very big and very costly. And if you can stop them at the beginning, you eliminate all the damage and downtime. We're not going to eliminate the leak because in none of our use cases is there a positive ROI on building such an expensive piece of infrastructure. What we can do is eliminate the damage and the downtime. So that's the hardware side. On the cloud side, we take all that data and we aggregate it into a dashboard, which customers can view. Most of our customers like getting alerts via SMS and email, and then getting that data taken into another system, like a building management system or a facilities ticketing system. So that's the product offering. From a market standpoint, we see our customers are really underserved. It's great because they're starved for attention. The three markets that we're really focused on: real estate, industrial machinery, and commercial roofing. In each of those markets, there are very imperfect solutions. And as I said, they feel somewhat ignored. And that puts us in a great position from a marketing standpoint. It's very easy for us to capture SEO and place really highly on search engines because these facilities managers are Googling stuff, trying to figure out how to solve their problems. We can be there when they're looking for us, but it also positions us really well in terms of pricing power within the market. We also see insurance as a powerful accelerant to what we're doing. So insurance is really important. We're already developed models with AXA and with other insurers where when a customer installs a device, they get a discount on their premium. So we see that as a really powerful distribution mechanism or accelerant. So just to kind of wrap this all up, as Tom said, we're pretty much 2 years in. I think the thing that I'm most proud of is that we are achieving our vision every day of becoming a market-defining technology and company and becoming a kind of ubiquitous, smart digital and physical layer in the environment. We've got awesome partners and awesome customers on board. There's some great commercial traction, and we're fundraising right now. So if I'm not already talking to you on this call, please get in touch. I'd love to chat. We're really building a lot of exciting stuff under the hood as well. In terms of kind of telling the biggest possible story there, I thought it's important to put us in the biggest context. And I think for me, it's that climate is really driving absolutely everything that we do. And as I reflected on preparing for this session, I realized every single use case we touch goes back to climate in one or two steps. And I thought I'd just share three examples. The first is hotter average temperatures. I guarantee this is going to happen with a customer this summer. It's a hotter than average time, which means that we have underspecified HVAC, which means that the equipment is stressed and breaks down, which means that there's unplanned downtime, damage, and events that, let's say, are typically in that $10,000 to $50,000 range, which is why people are reaching out to us. We see increased adoption of renewables, which means that there's rapidly scaling deployments, but there's a lack of staff and really infrequent maintenance, leads to equipment breakdown, leads to unplanned downtime, damage, and as I said, much more costly events, so kind of 500K plus, which leads people to layer. But then in the end, I think the biggest story is actually related to our relationship with insurance. When you see 108 billion of natural catastrophe losses in 2023, you have effectively an upside down insurance market. And that's pretty terrifying. That means that insurers need to immediately improve their loss ratios or else their business is at risk of being upside down. That means that insurance companies are aggressively adopting risk mitigating solutions, which is probably the strongest trend that we see right now, is the willingness of insurance to start adopting solutions like Layer. So I think that's probably a good place to stop for a second. I hope that generated some questions. Yeah, thank you for your kind attention.